So let the sun shine in, face it with a grin. Now smilers never lose and frowners never win. Happiness, positivity, optimism versus depression, grumpiness, people who are really unhappy. And where do you fit into that scale? There's a lot of people in the world who are very unhappy, depressed, miserable and grumpy. And it seems to be fewer and fewer people who are positive, happy, optimistic, solution finders. Why is that? And who do you want to be is probably the most important question. And if you are a grumpy, miserable, depressed person, is it possible to become a happy person? And that's something that I've focused on every single day. Obviously, as an exercise professional, there's an effect between exercise and the brain. And can that make you a happy, positive, not depressed person? Can you choose to be a happy person? What can you do on a day-to-day basis? Now, I'm in my music room at the moment, and for me, music is a great way to feel fantastic. But let me ask you this question. Have you ever listened to a song and it's made you sad? It might be a breakup with a partner, and that song reminds you of that breakup, so you feel sad. Or somebody in your life is no longer with you and that song reminds you of them, so you feel sad. So music can change our headspace to sad. Have you ever listened to a song and felt motivated or inspired? Do you have a song that you work out to, or music that you work out to that gets you going, gets your heart pumping, makes you feel amazing? So we can use music, for example, and music is my thing. Obviously I have a music room. But if I want to add instant magic into my life, I just play my favorite music, of course. So let the sun shine in. And I sing loudly. I live out in the country, so it doesn't matter. My singing voice is certainly not going to win any competitions, but I sing really loudly because it makes me feel good. So if I feel miserable, I don't go and play miserable music. I play happy, positive music, and of course that can change your brain space. So there's one choice. I have puppy dogs. If you don't have a dog, if you've never had a dog, and I don't just have one because obviously dogs are pack animals and they need to have people or other dogs around them. Sorry, I treat my dogs as if they are humans, of course. So we have 4 dogs. They entertain each other all day long, but they make me laugh and make me feel good, and I love hanging out with them. And the neuroscientists will tell us that great people and or animals produce a neurochemical change in our brain, oxytocin. It's called the love drug. So if you feel sad, or if you feel miserable, or if you feel depressed, or you feel grumpy, could I go and hang out with my dogs? And people say to me, Ro, you're happy all the time. Yes, that's a very personal choice, because if I feel grumpy or angry or miserable, I listen to great music or I go and play with my dogs. And all you've got to do is, it's a real tactile kinesthetic thing. And that's the feel of my puppy dog's ears, because all of my dogs love getting their ears scratched, and it adds massive amounts of oxytocin into my body, which is a happy drug, makes them feel good apparently because they seem to like it. They don't go anywhere when I rub their ears. They make me laugh, and of course laughing is a great way to change your headspace. If you feel miserable and grumpy and then go and watch a sad movie, you're probably going to feel worse. But if you listen to or watch a comedy show, listen to some comedians telling jokes. I've got joke books, so I'm constantly putting laughter into my life. Now, my dogs make me laugh. I've got a husband with a great sense of humour. We're really sarcastic and tell jokes all the time. And I have lots of people in my life who send me jokes on a regular basis. The newsletter for the Max International Colleges, I always have 6 pages of giggles. And often if the Maxway doesn't arrive in somebody's inbox, or it ended up in their junk box, I get messages from people to say, Rowie, where's my giggles? It's not about where's the newsletter, it's the 6 pages of giggles, because laughing adds massive value to our lives. And isn't it interesting that some of the most horrible things in the world, a great comedian can take that horrible thing and make people laugh with it. They turn it into something that can give people joy because they're laughing. And I think that's a really important skill to have as a leader, to be able to get people to laugh. But of course, laughing changes your brain. You can't be miserable and grumpy and angry and be laughing at the same time. So would it be a good idea to add either laughter into your life, or be the person that is capable of putting laughing, humour, making people enjoy the absolute joy of a belly laugh, to change their brain space? And I always ask this question: if you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss or a leader, should you develop the skill of humour? Should you learn how to get people to laugh? Because it certainly makes people feel better. And if you want to be in a group of people that can think more clearly, obviously laughter will do that. So we've got music, we've got animals, we've got great people. If you put great people into your life who have a great sense of humour, who are positive, optimistic people, versus if you put negative, grumpy people into your life, isn't it interesting? You might be having a great day, but you put negative, grumpy people into your life and you might end up feeling grumpy as well. I'm very protective of my brain space like that. But ultimately, how do you change your brain the quickest? So yes, you could laugh. Yes, you could listen to music. Yes, you could pat your puppy dog. Yes, you could hang out with great people. But ultimately, the human body, the endocrine system, the hormonal system of the human body, is designed for humans to stay alive, to thrive, so they can reproduce. And I, again, bang on about that every single day. Because to me, the human body is an amazing thing, and we've got all sorts of systems: skeletal system, muscular system, digestive system, immune system. But they all work together in tune in the music room by the endocrine system, because the endocrine system is literally designed to keep us alive, to make all of those systems work effectively so that we can reproduce. Now, you might not want to reproduce, but as the biology of humans is that we are designed to make more humans. So if you feel grumpy or miserable or angry or depressed, it's very unlikely that you want to reproduce. I've got a headache, I don't feel like it. I'm sure we've heard that before. When you feel good about yourself, when you've got high self-esteem, when you're functioning at 100% top level effort as a human being, obviously you're more likely to want to reproduce. So that's what the endocrine system's for. So the endocrine system, if you're feeling stress in any way, shape or form, it is designed to get rid of the stress and then produce dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, brain-derived neurotropic factor, endorphins, all those neurochemicals that make us feel good. So how do we bring on that stress system so that we can get those happy chemicals? The quickest, fastest, most effective way is to put your body under stress, under threat. And you might have created that because you've got a horrible boss or a terrible relationship or a financial situation that's awful. But ultimately, if you want to feel good, you've got to put your body under stress by challenging your skeletal and muscular system, your cardiovascular system, and that all comes from exercise. Now, most people think that exercise is a swear word, and I'm not talking about a 45-minute class or an hour at the gym or going for a plod jog for 30 minutes or going for a walk for an hour. To me, they're just cardiovascular activities that when you're fit and strong, you're capable of doing them. So how do I get fit and strong? How do I change my brain chemistry? And if you go back to the physiology of how the human body works, the endocrine system works, that is 10 seconds of high intense activity to get away from the threat. It's called the phosphate system. So if a burglar breaks into your house, your body goes instantly into run away or fight. You might freeze, but if you're fit and strong and you've got a healthy brain, you won't freeze. You'll either run away, which is smart, but if you are a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, a leader, you might not have the option to run. You might have a family to protect. You might have students to protect. You might have athletes to protect. You might have a team to protect. You can't run away. So the body produces instantly epinephrine, adrenaline, same thing, cortisol, which is the stress drug, so that you can fight and flight. So you have an increased heart rate, you get increased blood pressure, your blood fat levels go up, your blood sugar levels go up, and your body gets ready to fight and flight. Once you get away from the threat, so you sprint away, or you fight the threat and kill it, and you overcome the threat, now your body produces dopamine. Reward, yay, she got away from the threat, well done, or she killed it, even better, because I think there's a more effective brain chemistry change when you kill the threat rather than run away from it. You have a serotonin evening in your brain, which means you feel satisfied with life, and that just makes sense, doesn't it? I'm so happy to be alive. I'm satisfied with my life, regardless of what's going on. I'm alive, woohoo! Brain-derived neurotropic factor is the fertilizer for your brain that makes all of those systems work more effectively, and that pumps the best at high intense activity. Then you get oxytocin if you did that with somebody else or with your puppy dogs, and you get the pain-killing endorphin effect, which is the happy drug that also takes the pain away, and that all comes from 100% effort. So yes, you could laugh, and yes, you could pat your puppy dog, and yes, you could hang out with great people, and yes, you could listen to great music. But if you really want to change your brain chemistry in 10 seconds, and that's about as close to zero as you can get, do something of high intensity, and I don't call it exercise. Sprint on the spot, jump squats, skip rope, punch a bag, kick a bag. The fight ones are the excellent ones. So kicking and punching and jumping is awesome. if you sprint on the spot as hard as you can, your brain will automatically say, she's under threat. So we need epinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol. You'll have obviously an increased heart rate because you're putting in 100% effort. Everything changes inside your brain. And then after that 10 second of high intensity, 100% effort activity, you now feel good. So if you combine all of those, so if you regularly get puffed and you have great music in your life and you laugh all the time and you have puppy dogs and great people in your life, is it possible to be happy all the time? Could you live your life to the max? Could you let the sun shine in? Face it with a grin. Smilers never lose and frowners never win, so let the sun shine in. Live your life to the max as a happy person. Woo!